Imagine working all month and then receiving just 3,500 naira as your salary. That is what some civil servants in Anambra State say happened in February. The government says no work, no pay. Workers says this is punishment. But here's what most headlines are not telling you. The real issue may not just be absenteeism. This is bigger than salary deduction. It is about power, fear, economic control, and political authority in Anambra State. Tonight, we break down what happened, why it matters, and what could happen next. If you care about governance and democracy in Nigeria, like this video, subscribe, and stay with me. In February 2026, the Anambra State Government deducted salaries from civil servants who did not report to work on Monday. These Mondays has been widely observed as sit-at-home days linked to the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The government had earlier warned workers. It introduced a clock-in, clock-out system to confirm attendance. If you do not clock in, you will mark absent. Simple. But when salary alert came, many workers said the deductions were massive. Some claims they received only 10,000 naira. One said he was left with 3,500 naira from over 80,000 naira. The Commissioner for Information defended the action. He said it was punishment for failure to report to work. The government's message was clear. The era of Monday sit-at-home shutdown must end. This is not just about salary. For years, Monday sit-at-home has slowed economic activities in Anambra, especially Onitsha and Nnewi, two major commercial hubs. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called it economic sabotage, and from a policy perspective, he has a point. When businesses close weekly, the economics suffer. But here is the deeper question. Were workers absent because they refuse to work or because they fear insecurity? That difference changed everything. If fear is the reason, punishment alone may not solve the problem. Now let's look at the strategy. This move sent a strong political signal. It tells the public the state government is in control. It also tells investors Anambra is open for business, but enforcement is a political gamble. If deductions are seen as fair, the government gains authority. If they are seen as excessive, resentment grows. And remember, civil servants are also voters. Another strategic layer. The clock-in system creates documentation. It gives the government measurable data that strengthens its administrative position. But transparency is key. Were workers given breakdowns of their deduction? Was there an appeal process? If not, the policy risks backlash. But here's the part nobody's talking about. The psychological effect. When a worker receives 3,500 naira instead of 80,000, that shock is not just financial, it is emotional. Rent, school fees, loan, family support. Sudden deduction creates silent pressure inside household, and political pressure often begins quietly. Another overlooked issue is that if two missed Monday lead to over 80,000 deduction, was there a miscalculation? If errors exist, they can damage credibility. In governance, perception is as powerful as policy. But ask yourself this: if the government did nothing, would sit-at-home ever end? That is the dilemma. Governor Soludo has insisted Anambra is one of the safest states in Nigeria. He also warned that markets and schools that failed to open on Monday could be shut down for weeks. Security operations are ongoing, according to the government, but public confidence takes time. Some traders now open shop cautiously. Some workers still fear uncertainty. The enforcement approach shows strength, but strength without trust creates tension. Institutions must balance discipline with fairness. This story reflects a wider Nigeria issue. How should states respond to political movements that disrupt economic life? Through dialogue, through force, or through economic pressure. Anambra has chosen economic enforcement. If successful, it may become a model for other states. If it backfired, it could deepen political division. This is not just about one state, it is about how democracy handled this set. Three possible scenarios is that the first scenario is that if compliance increases, sit-at-home weakens, economic activity rises. While the second scenario is that if workers challenges deductions, legal dispute begin. And the third scenario is that public resentment grows quietly, which affecting future election. The government say it is determined to take back the state. The coming months will show whether enforcement builds stability or resistance. So here is the final question. Is this strong leadership or risk overreach? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do you support the no work, no pay policy, or do you think the government should take a softer approach? Like this video if you believe accountability matter. Subscribe for deeper political investigation. Share this with someone who needs to understand what is really happening in Anambra. Because in politics, salary alerts sometimes tell a bigger story than speeches, and we will keep following the money.